Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the JBR Play podcast. Tonight I am with Ben,
Hello.
and Ben actually has a topic.
It's like I was answering the door. Hello.
Yeah, come in.
Yes. I want to talk about. Well, because we saw this the other day, didn't we? What did you say it was?
I saw like a
what show was it?
meme type thing
Something
about
like
it.
that,
Yeah.
But basically difficulty in games, like game difficulties, medium, hard, insane, whatever. If they're kind of necessary anymore, do we want them still? Are they, just give us a flat, difficulty level? And also, the sort of skill, because we were saying, was it because that meme thing? It's the only entertainment thing. Gaming is the only sort of form of entertainment that requires you to not be crap.
You mean
at it.
visual entertainment? Something you're supposed to
In
be
terms
watching.
of like at
obviously,
home
like,
entertainment.
football's entertainment, but if you're not good at it, you require skill. You're not going to get
Well,
any goals.
that's more
gonna...
of
Physical
physical
ent-
hobby.
yeah.
But I mean,
But
like,
it's
in
still
terms of
entertainment.
Yeah, but in terms of when we're talking gaming, filming, anything, watching stuff, it's the only thing you actually have to kind of be good at. Otherwise, I mean, you can still have fun, but you can't really take it online or anything because you'd kind of suck and it would be miserable.
Well, I think online is proof. If people need difficulties or not, because for example, For Honor, again, we've done a few videos and we played it quite a bit.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I thought we were pretty good at the game. Like we would do all right online. Like we'd win more matches than we'd lose.
Yeah.
I took a couple of weeks off and I've come back to it now.
People have learned to play the game.
Yeah, there's no difficulty now, and people are wiping the floor with me. I'm lucky if I win a match. I'm lucky if I win a round, let alone a match. Like everyone's on equal footing there, and you need to be skilled at games like that. I mean, there are some games I think you can almost flukily do quite well in, and games.
Well, usually fighters, like stereotypical
yeah,
fighters.
button mashes.
Yeah,
Yes, like
you hammer the
Tekken,
keys. And
Street
you're like,
Fighter.
You pray.
But I know what you mean, because in video games, obviously easy, medium, difficult. Sometimes they do loads of difficulties now, don't they? Do like an in between easy and medium, and in between medium and hard, and then like an impossible. And yet, I mean, I can understand the purpose behind them, so I guess they are kind of necessary. It would be great if I'm sure there are some games out there that do this. I've heard it before where they level up with your difficulty almost. So the game, instead of having a set difficulty, it assesses how well you're doing and then makes the game tougher for you and to kind of keep around your level, which I think is a great idea. It's also good when games are quite clever with the difficulty settings and subtle. So Pokemon is the best example. The original Red and Blue. When you had Charmander in the very original, because obviously when they did the reboot, they changed it. But Charmander was hard,
isn't it? Yeah.
Squirtle was medium, and Bulbasaur was easy. And the thing that I really liked about that was it was subtle. You didn't realize that straight away especially when you're a kid. You didn't think about that.
I still had no idea until not quite recently, but in the last few years, I suddenly realized, oh god, okay.
But
Choosing Charmander was a bad idea.
Well, it wasn't though. This is the thing that I liked: is it compensated well. And when you played against your friends, if you were to have a starter fight, Bulbasaur was the worst, even though he was easiest.
Yeah.
Squirtle stayed in the middle. But Charizard, if he went against supposedly the easy choice, would wipe the floor with him.
So in case anyone doesn't realise why, it's because the first gym is who is he? He's ground. Is he ground or is he rock?
Yes. Okay. So let's.
Which one didn't exist at the
rock.
time?
No, he's
ground.
he's
Didn't
rock.
exist,
yeah.
did it? It
so
was
he's
rock.
Yeah. What was it? The Earth
Obviously,
Magic.
yeah, fire's
You
weak
confuse
to
me
rock,
now.
so-
That can be wrong. But yes, so he couldn't hurt rock. And then the second gym was water, which pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And then the third gym was Drim.
Look at the Drims.
The third gym was lightning, which he was neutral against. And the fourth gym, I think, was grass, where he did have an advantage.
By the time you got the fourth gym, you got
a
a whole
team,
roster. Yeah.
And obviously Bulbasaur was super effective against the rock or ground /ground gym. He was super effective against the water, and he resists electricity. So the first three gyms, where you said by then you've built up a bit of a team.
Yeah.
You've got such a strong starter Pokemon that you've already got the ground rock, and then you're neutral against the fourth gym as well. They're not very effective against you, but you're not very effective. Actually, you're part poison when you evolve, so you are technically super effective against the fourth gym. Yeah, I mean, and then Squirtle, obviously, super effective against the first gym, like Bulbasaur, neutral with the second, weak to the third, weak to the fourth. So he takes a bit of a battering.
But like we're saying, after the second gym, you've got things you can use,
Stuff. Things.
Mew, if you're good enough.
But yeah, I like difficulties when they're like that, when it's quite subtle. In a way, obviously it's the rock paper scissors method, but it was quite good that you didn't realize that when you were first starting, and then it was a shame. I understand why they did it, to give newer players a chance when they brought out Fire Red and Leaf Green, which are the reboots of Red and Blue. they gave Charmander Metal Claw.
Oh yeah.
As an attack. So when he went into the rock gym, he had a super
Starting to
effective
hit him
move
with,
straight away. But what I used to like was thinking outside the box. Like it wasn't that hard with Charmander.
You had to catch, 5 Rattatas and just hammer at them.
or you
Defense
could
skill,
have
defense
saved
skill, defense skill. Start it.
a ton of time and just caught a male Nidoran or a female Nidoran, used double kick and super effective there. That was always a good strategy. Or you could catch Mankey if you went to Victory Road.
Yeah,
the entrance to Victory Road. Just get a fighting type.
Past the what you call, man.
Interesting fact about Mankey. I always thought, if you ever look at the original red and blue design for Mankey, I always thought they didn't give him any arms and they were his ears. They're not.
He's
they're
stroking
his hands.
his ears, aren't he?
Yeah, they're his hands going above his head, but it looks like 2 ears. I only found out last year, I think, that they weren't his that they were his arms. I was like, wait, what? My whole life has been a lie.
Well, there's loads of Pokemon like that. It's like what's his face? Who's Cradilly? He's got like the dots on his face, which I thought were his eyes, but they're not. They're lower down. Oh, not the dots, sorry. It's like circles.
It's like
on
the
his
face
head,
paint,
even.
the tribal paint.
Yeah, and it looks like his eyes, but underneath them, you've got these little yellow circles, which are actually his eyes. It's like, oh, yeah, it kind of looks a bit not dopey.
Yeah. But going back to the difficulty thing, so I just got the game recently, which you're going to be getting, Battlegrounds.
He says.
And again, because it's all multiplayer, on multiplayer games, you can't really have a difficulty setting unless you're doing co-op.
Well, things like
monsters.
Piranha kind of, they try and match you against your skill level, don't they?
Yes.
So I guess if you get better, you're meant to fight people that are better.
But the problem is, if you come to games like Piranha late, I feel like it kind of shoots that theory down because then everybody's good and you come in and you're just...
And then when they get annoyed of losing, they hand their controller to their mate who's good. And they kick your ass. It's like, oh!
But I think that also with Piranha, another good thing it does to help is it gives you experience even when you lose. So it kind of boosts your character up. So it is boosting you to get better equipment.
Well, if
eventually.
you didn't get
It's
anything
just a bit
from
slower.
losing, why would you play?
Well, a lot of games you don't get anything from losing. But yeah, but that's what I liked about going back to Battlegrounds. The thing I liked about that was you don't necessarily have to be good at the game to do well because it's basically the way Battlegrounds works is a big battle royale. You all jump out of a plane. You choose when you jump out of the plane on this massive island. It's a fantastic game. And you've got to survive. And the area in which you're surviving gets smaller and smaller. So obviously it does become more and more difficult over time to survive.
It's basically the Hunger Games, isn't it?
It's because
you're in teams
or
of two
Battle
as
Royale,
well.
the manga, which came before Hunger Games. Yeah. But yeah, it's that, and you don't necessarily like as long as if you're really smart, you can do well without being good at the game because you can let other people kill you can let the others. Obviously, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
But you can let the other players kill each other and knock each other down until there's only a few of you. But when you get to like the last 5 or 6, because people can play in groups, it gets tough. Like, all about it when you're down to a couple of you and the tension's so high. But I kind of feel like that's another kind of subtle difficulty bit because when the game first starts, you could literally go 3, 2, 1, go and parachute at the very beginning. If no one else does, you're miles away from everybody. Chances are you've got a good half an hour where you're safe in the game.
It would be a lot of stuff though.
And you can loot. Yeah, you can loot the areas nearby and gather supplies. It's a really good idea. I really enjoy the game, but there's no difficulty. Again, like as the map gets smaller, it feels like that's making it more difficult.
Well, it's not making it more difficult. It's just forcing you all together. So conflict's more likely.
Yeah, exactly. Which does make it because normally you've got longer times of peace, longer time to prepare. When the map is really
like Age of Empires.
When it's Age of Empires is again. That's where actually
we'll come back to that. Or do you want to go now?
Let's go now. You want to go? So Age of Empires, God, the difficulty of the AI on Age of Empires 2, which is, I think it's safe to say, this is probably just our opinion, but I would like to say it's fact, but I'm not going to just in case it's not. Age of Empires 2 is the biggest Age of Empires game out of all of them.
That's probably the most
popular, the most
I would
well-known,
assume, because that's the one that everyone seems to know. It's the one we always played, because, well, as you say, I haven't played all of them, but it feels like the best one out of the ones I played.
It felt like it went downhill. Age of Empires 3 felt like it went downhill.
Well, it went more cartoony towards that, like Age of Empires Online.
Age of Empires Online was cartoony, yeah.
But it's fine, but
the difficulty for Age of Empires was insane. You either put it on easy and it was ridiculously easy, or you put it on hard and you didn't get a chance to build your base. You would just get attacked. And same, the problem with online games like that is skill becomes a lot more important than difficulty in the sense of...
Not necessarily cheesing as well, just the idea of, Halo Wars.
Oh,
and then come in with the Warthogs and try and Mac cannon your base right at the beginning, and if they lose, or if they don't succeed, they just quit.
Yeah, so...
why?
In Halo Wars, you could do 3v3 friends, and you all had a set base, so they would know where your base was. The enemy, and one of the Captain Cutter? I think
is that his name?
It was, yeah.
The gruff one.
his one of his special abilities was to fire a Mac cannon from space. And what certain people online would do is 3 of them would all play as him. They'd all drive their Warthog, which was like their scout vehicle, to your base. And before you even had a chance to build anything, they would all use all their money, blow all their money at once, and they would then open fire and destroy your base with all 3 Mac rounds. And that was one of you out of the game instantly. And then I'm assuming they would delete their Warthog or something. I'm not sure how, because I was trying to assume how did they get money back? Yeah, I could never work out. But I never wanted to try. I was like, I'm not that much of a douchebag. I'm not gonna.
What's the point? You're not playing the game then. It's like, what's the point?
But in Age of Empires,
it's like kicking people off the wall in For Honor.
John, there's nothing. Hey,
I do.
The game might be cool For Honor, but there's no honor. But it's Age of Empires. Going back to that online, we have a gentleman's agreement when we play, don't we? We give each other around half an hour of peacetime, where you give each other a chance to build up and get something ready.
To fight with. You have a huge army you can clash with.
Because there's nothing more infuriating, I find, with gaming than getting into a game that you know is long term. A lot like a round is a long time. It's not a quick game, and being one of the first ones to be taken out really early on, it's just kind of like, well, what's the point? And then it's also worse for your friends if you're in a team and you go down and you're out. They're like, well, we can't really win this now. We're just going to be holding off for maybe a couple of hours until we eventually either get lucky somehow or they just inevitably wipe us out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people online don't with Age of Empires, and the amount of times I play it, and within 15 minutes, someone's already hit Castle Age somehow and got an army. Like, that's not huge, but big enough to wipe someone out who doesn't have an army. And that's where a skill barrier becomes quite difficult with, and like a difficulty barrier becomes difficult online.
I do remember, because you don't use the C-bomb very often, but that was the one time you've dropped one on me, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was, what was it? I remember I hit the peacetime, it was perfectly on time, I had this lovely army, ran at your gates, you went, dropped down. I was like, oh, how could you?
Yes, because
don't hate me because I'm better.
Just because the peacetime went, normally you get around a couple of minutes. It was literally you were waiting at the edge of the line of sight. So as soon as it triggered, this siege tower just hit. I was like,
there was an army of Byzantines probably.
Oh, whatever. I don't care. I hate you anyway.
I left you alone. I ran off. I was like, fine. I'll give you like another 10 minutes.
You hurt my feelings. I'm running away and taking my army with me.
But see, because well, when it comes to difficulties, for me, the reason I liked it, well, half like them, half annoy me. I like them because you have the choice, obviously, but it's the achievement. I love achievement stuff. So I always have to go through the game list and go, where are the achievements? Is there one for doing it on hard? Is there one for doing it on medium? Or is there one for all 3? If there's not an achievement, then I'm just like, well, I don't really care.
Do you feel it adds something new to go back and... Okay, so a game like Devil May Cry, if you played it on like an easy difficulty first, and then you went back and completed it again on hard, do you feel like you've gained something from doing it on hard difficulty?
Halo. Doing the achievement, finishing the whole game solo and legendary. I did that on Reach, and it felt incredible because I did that, and it's the proof is there. I did it rather than. It's a bit of a shame because the achievements have ruined games for me. Because back in the day, like Crash Bandicoot, I'd finish the whole thing, look for secrets for whatever, and that's just that's all I wanted it for. Whereas now it's like, is there an achievement? No, okay, don't care.
Yeah.
Like, how am I gonna do it? Because why would I do it?
You're saying difficulties haven't ruined games, achievements have.
Achievements have. Yeah.
But for me, I find it difficult. There are certain. I think if I really love a game, if I love a franchise and I love a game, having more difficulties is a bonus. Like if Halo is the best example, like you said, like when now, to be fair, I go to a stage where as soon as we get Halo comes out, we go on Legendary straight away as a team. Yeah.
But I need to up it.
When I was younger, I remember going to complete it on Heroic first to enjoy the story, then going back for the challenge of Legendary.
Yeah.
But that's because I loved the story so much. It had replay value for me anyway. For me personally, Halo has great replay value. So I was more than happy to do that. But if it's a game, I don't care about that much. And I'm playing it because, it's fun, I enjoy it. I'll complete it once, I'll probably be like... sometimes I might kind of get intrigued to do the campaign again on a harder difficulty, but as soon as I start, I'm like, okay, I don't need to. And then I'll leave it and won't go back. I don't think that difficulty is necessary. I think it's personal to the player if a difficulty will add something for you.
Yeah.
I think you have to have...
That's another challenge to do it again.
Yes, exactly. I think you have to have a bond with the game, so to speak. I think the game has to really mean something to you for you to want to go back and complete it on a harder difficulty.
Yeah.
If it's a game you don't really care about, a game you just play for fun for a bit. Like, for example, For Honor, I haven't touched the campaign because I love the combat, but the campaign doesn't interest me in the slightest. So having an easy, medium, hard difficulty on that campaign, who cares? Like, there will be people that care. So I'm not saying that, but I mean, for me personally, I don't care. Yeah. Like, it doesn't faze me. I'm not going to play it. Ghost Recon, I quite like it. There's no difficulty, but it can be a challenge. The new Ghost Recon Wildlands.
do select one, I think.
Sorry, you do select one. That's not what I
Yeah.
meant. What I'm saying. Sorry, is the way it works is it just say you go in with someone who's much further in the game than you.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I'm worded that very badly. It balances the difficulty out.
Yeah.
Between the two of you, so it's still a challenge for both of you. Or if like someone who's been playing the game for ages, unlocked, everything comes back, it's still a
and
challenge
just
for
wrecks
them,
it. And then
which is
after that,
really
that's
good.
what's normally the problem when they come back and just go, "Oh, I'll just carry you through it." It's like, well, what's the
Rick.
point? Rick. Yeah.
But that I think that's another good way of doing it as well. Because if you want to play co-op, one of your friends is like, "I just blitzed the game on Legendary," and you're like, "I'm still on beginner." Like it creates that game barrier between you, and you're like, "Okay, well, one of you's going to be bored or stuck either way," kind of. So
I see,
it's
because
more challenge.
game that deals with difficulty very well actually is things like World of Warcraft. Because you're talking to me about the other day when you're saying you're not bored of it yet, kind of all the raiding stuff, and they do it very well because it's like like you just said with the games you like. You have the story mode. I can't really call it what they call it. Normal in Star Wars: The Old Republic they call it story mode because that's what it is. You'd play it for the story, and it's easy. The raids are easy. The bosses weren't really a challenge. And then you hit, the next step up, which is heroic, which is difficult. It's actually difficult. And then now, if you get enough players, you have 20 players or more, you can do mythic, which is even worse. And it keeps you going. You always have this progression that you want to hit and you want to get somewhere.
See, that's really cool. My only gripe with that, and it's not even a gripe actually. I think this is a very difficult situation for a lot of game developers, and I do kind of feel bad. You just said that you need 20 players.
That's just that one mode.
But yeah, but
we're still going on heroic, so it keeps you going for a while.
My point is, obviously, it's great because I do really respect, because it encourages gamers to interact with one another. It encourages you to find new people to play. But the problem then is for people who maybe struggle to talk to people online, people who aren't great in social situations and do have difficulties with it.
Well,
they can't do it.
Well, you can play it, but then you have solo players who play alone. And I know it means they can't really experience that content. But that's the point of raids. Raids aren't a single player thing.
Yeah.
They are built for...
But it's a large number as well.
Teams of people.
Like, if you go on, like, 5 friends.
That's not a large number. The original game, I didn't play it back then, but it was like 45 people, which I can't imagine. I mean, 10 to me is like quite a lot.
Yeah, 10's a good...
And then to 45 people, but oh my God, that's a lot of people.
Well, what was it? Sorry, I just had a thought and it's completely gone. It was... Oh, yes. So, I was just thinking about... Do you remember we used to play Elder Scrolls Online?
Yes.
Player versus player, you remember I loved it. I really loved the PvP side of ESO. I thought it was really good fun. However, levels were a huge part of it. If an enemy player was a higher level than you, you got wrecked. And again, I guess similar with Warcraft, you went to a PvP zone.
No, Warcraft, you have brackets.
Oh, okay, that's good.
You only ever fight, if you're the max level, you only fight max level. If you're like, what is it now? It's 110. So if it's you're level 100 to 109, I think you only fight 100 to 109. So you always have brackets of 10.
Okay, that's a good idea because they didn't have that in ESO. They might do now, but I don't know. I haven't been on in a while. But I'll never forget one of the first times I went on with Rick and one of our friends, Pete. And we just got on, and we were Ebonheart, and someone from there were 3 factions, and someone from the yellow faction, the Aldemary Dominion. The blue faction in our server were awful. They weren't really a threat to anybody. But the yellow faction, Dominion, one of them managed to make it to Emperor. And this is in the first couple of days of its release. And not only that, they were a vampire. And we were like level 10 just coming into PvP. Like, because that's the minimum level we can go in.
Kill people.
And we're like, we're going to win. We're going to wreck shop. And this vampire and one of his friends, just 2 players, came to our fort. We had NPCs with us. Not many. A couple of other random players. But even then, we had the numbers and a keep. And he won repeatedly. We eventually did kill him, but he killed us so many times before we took him down once. And Rick managed to get the final hit.
Kill, didn't he? Yeah.
And he got unlocked because you unlock color shaders for different achievements in game, and it's a really rare one to get. And Rick killed him and got it.
It's a really nice
early game. But yeah, there was no level compensation for that. Like, and luckily then we all played quite a lot, and we all got fairly high. And luckily for us, when Rick plays these games, he shoots up very far ahead. He's always one of the quickest to level. And thank God for us, Rick was our healer. So you have a max level healer. So even if you're not doing well, he can be like, I will save you and heal you. But
let's see, because going back to things like WoW again, they've come up with this new system in the latest expansion. Because you used to have, you'd have a thing with an MMO. you'd go back to an old area. Actually, Elder Scrolls did it now. But you go back to an old area and their level, trash. You could literally wipe the floor with things. What they've done with the new area is it's split up into, I think it's like 5 zones. But instead of saying, okay, this is, level 100 to 102, whatever, this is level 102 to 104, it levels to you, it scales with you. So all of it will always be your level. So you can bring your friends to whatever. That's the thing, you can mix and match. So if I'm, 109, someone's 102, you go to the same place, then it balances out for you. Makes it work, so you can fight together.
That's good. What was if there's like a huge level difference, so like level 5 and level 100?
Oh, well, no, because then you're doing completely different content. This is a completely new area. It's the level 100 plus area. So.
Oh, right, okay, got you. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant like if they go to like for example, if you went into the beginning area, would like the boars suddenly be like...
No, they've dealt with that a very long time ago, because I remember our friend James, it was James, but he wanted me to be like level whatever the max was at the time. He's like, I want you to be there now. And he's like, right, let's kill some boar. He hit it. I got like 1 XP or something. I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Let's say quickly, the good thing that they've come up with as well, a good system, it's all about the replayability is what they're trying to do. So you have the dungeons. You have the same old, you know what a dungeon is, don't you? When it comes to
I'm aware. Yeah.
I don't know. Instead of doing the same thing over and over again, like, oh, it's the same, whatever, it's boring, you have this thing called Mythic Plus. And basically you get this thing called a keystone, which has a level. And you can put it in this little pedestal thing at the beginning of the level. And it then, depending on the level of the keystone, is how difficult it will be. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the normal level of the dungeon is just Mythic 0, for example. And then you put in like a Mythic plus 10, they get, I can't remember the exact numbers, but like, for example, 120% extra damage and health, and these things called affixes, which are basically extra mechanics for either bosses, mobs, whatever. Basically, it changes the game to be more different, so it keeps it fresh, which is what's nice. And it's very difficult when you hit the high ones, like really hard. So it's always a challenge, basically. It's always something pushing you to be better, which is why it's nice. And you get better gear. So.
But I think you can argue that with every game. I think every game's always pushing you to be better. So you
but then when you beat it, you're like, well, you're done. Whereas this, when you beat it, it goes, here's your next one.
But see, I think I get
Keep
bored.
Going.
Like when I know you said it changed, but I would be bored of doing that. I think with WoW, I think it wouldn't hold. And also, I'm not knocking World of Warcraft here at all, because everyone's entitled to their kind of what they enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Everything. But for me, the style of gameplay for WoW isn't particularly exciting. I guess. And I get why people enjoy it though.
Well, the reason we do it is to get the loot so you become better. That's why people love to do it, because like when you get something new, you're like, right, cool, I'm more powerful now, I can move on. It's that permanent grind. It is stupid. It's stupid. It's a carrot on a stick, but it's always that grind. You're going further and further to get better and better and better and better.
But it's like, see, is that your one makes more sense. But do you remember when we used to play Destiny? And there was a cave you could grind at for good loot and experience. And
so was it called the loot cave? I can't remember. What
pretty much, and they changed it eventually.
The buggy cave.
I would argue that doesn't prove like difficulties necessary, because that means you're kind of, it's not cheating, but you're.
Oh, that was a bug.
Playing the system,
an exploit even.
Yeah, you're playing the system to get better when you in a way you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So
people always do that. They always find a way.
But it's like, I'm going back to what you were saying about the World of Warcraft leveling area for difficulty. So if 2 players were together, it kind of merge. I used to play an online game called Tibia. I was a really big fan of Tibia. Played it with a lot of friends. And what was really cool, eventually, we played it for quite a few years, and around halfway through our playtime, they introduced this new...
Oh no, you've got your charger.
My charger is in the other room. Should we quickly pause and come back?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Bleep. Okay, panic over. The laptop is back on. I can't believe we forgot the charger.
We have the power. By the power of Grace Skull.
We didn't forget the charger. It was a fault that was not ours.
Yes, but it's never our fault.
Anyway,
we are perfect.
Exactly. Going back to the Tibia thing. Around halfway through, they brought a party system where you could join parties with one another, and then they had an EXP share. Within it. So if one of you had to be quite close to them as well for the EXP to work.
Oh, as in if someone kills something, the other person gets XP.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But if you both attack it, for example, beforehand, I think it would split the EXP, or whoever got the most damage would kill it. But then but if there was a big level difference between you, so just say I made a new character and was like level 8, and someone else made someone else already had a character for a while, and they were like let's go level 80, for example.
What is the max in Tibia? Or was for you?
There was no max. The highest when I was last playing was like a character who was like level 235. I think you could keep going. There was no limit.
Is that like high?
Oh, that's insane.
Oh.
Like, I think the best one of my friends ever got to was level 100. My best was level 47, 48, I think. So, yeah, and I played a lot. Like, but then I kept making new characters as well, which probably didn't help. I'd get bored and be like, oh, I want to be this guy. Oh, I want to be that person. But yeah, I thought that was quite good. And the difficulty system for Tibia, one thing I loved, and I guess it's the same with every MMO, was if you did your research online, you'd obviously know which areas were tough, too dangerous to go in, and which areas weren't. Quests obviously had levels, but like just general areas or monsters like dungeons, sometimes they didn't have a warning. And the amount of times I'd be exploring and you'd be like safe monster, going down levels of this underground cave, and then you jump down, there'd suddenly be like a dragon or something out of nowhere, and you'd be like, where? I mean, to be honest, now I've said dragon, anyone who plays Tibia who's a high level is probably laughing at me like, dragons aren't dangerous. But when you're a low level, dragons are terrifying. And like you could just run into, I mean, so, like I remember, I think it started to change when I stopped playing that demons were like the strongest monsters in the game. I never saw one, I was gutted. But then they started bringing new creatures like hydras, and God knows what they've got now. But the difficulty, I was going to say, the EXP share was quite good for the difficulty. But the creatures, you learned quite quickly what you could handle and what you couldn't handle.
Yeah.
Level wise. But the thing that was great was, so you knew which creatures you could and couldn't take, but you didn't necessarily know where to go to find them unless you researched online. So if you were just playing the game blind, you could be playing very easily. Or the next moment it could suddenly switch and the difficulty could kind of turn on its head, but depending on what you ran into.
So they didn't sort of split it into zones?
Well, there were zones, and you kind of had a rough idea, but you could go to any zone at any point. As long as you had the money to pay, like, for example, for transport of a boat. I think it has to be premium, like, with your account, because it was a free-to-play game. I think it has to be premium to use boats. But I could sail to, like, Risha, the desert place, and go up in the mountains at level 8 and find banshees and just get absolutely annihilated. Kind of. But it's like, you never played the old Fallouts, did you?
No.
So, Fallout New Vegas, when I first played that, I was level 1. And instead of if you do it step by step as you're meant to, it can be difficult, but it's doable, is the point. I decided I wanted to go straight to Vegas from this town, which happened to be the main path from where you were. You went through a Deathclaw nest. And Deathclaws are scary. They are very powerful monsters.
I've seen them in Fallout Shelter.
And
they attack my base. I'm like, go away.
They're not as scary in that as they are in this.
Oh, you learn to deal with them very quickly.
Yeah, well, I had to run past them because, like, and that was the cool thing. Like, the monsters kind of identify difficulty in games like that. I think that works.
Oh yeah, because when you get the mob, which you know is a difficult one to fight.
But I think it needs to be natural like that in Fallout, where you can just stumble upon it as well. Because I mean, obviously, you could argue against that, like, well, it's not really fair if you're level 1 and you accidentally stumble into a Deathclaw. What do you do? And
run.
Well, yeah, run, exactly, yeah. But I think that makes the game more immersive. Like, if you're like, I'm going into this area, there are only, like, mole rats and things like that, I know I'm going to be safe. It's kind of boring. I think if you go into an area, like, there could be something dangerous that I don't know about.
It's like, did you play RuneScape? I can't remember.
I did, but not that much.
But do you remember, like, the idea of the wilderness? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
You used to go in there, and you knew that literally there could just be a human anywhere just waiting to jump on you, basically and kill you.
When you say human, you mean another player?
Yeah, another player. Yeah. And that's what was it was thrilling but terrifying, because you could go in with all this like kit you've just made or bought, and you could just instantly lose it. And it's just like, it was great. It was the best feeling ever, but the worst feeling ever. Especially when you lose all your fucking dragon gear like I did. Because you're an idiot.
On RuneScape, you could go back and get your stuff, couldn't you?
What happened was, if you died, you hit the ground and all your stuff's there. If you were killed and you didn't hit them first, so if you didn't initiate the attack, there you go, then you would keep your 3 most valuable items. If you did attack someone first, you get a skull above your head, and then if you die, you lose everything. And I went in with, I can't remember what they were called, like a dragon, a poison dragon dagger or something. This cloak, like obsidian cloak, something like this, and something else.
That would be a heavy
amulet
cloak.
of, amulet of king, something like that. They were basically really good items at the time. And I thought, I've got my 3 items. If I die, it doesn't matter. Went up to someone, started stabbing him. He turned around, blew me up with some magic spell. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. I died. Oh, shit.
You attacked first.
I attacked first. I lost it all. I was like, you fucking idiot.
So Tibia had something similar. It had like a criminal ranking system. If you attacked anyone, even if you didn't kill them, if you attacked anyone, you got a white skull for 15 minutes. And if any other player, it was okay for other players to kill you when you had a white skull. Basically, they wouldn't get anything. They get like a yellow skull, but no one else would see it. It was just to let them know they had killed a player. And even if you if you defended yourself against a player and killed them, you still can't log off for a long period of time. I think. But if you end up becoming a mass murderer and killing a lot of players, you get a red skull. And red skulls meant you lost, I think, pretty much everything. But the thing with Tibia that made it so unforgiving was you didn't keep your 3 best items. You lost like 10% of everything, like 10% of your EXP. So you could go back down levels. You lost 10% of your, I think it was 10% of your like kit, and it was random what went. So you could lose a really valuable item, or you could lose crap. You always lost your backpack. Like your backpack was always lost. It made it terrifying because players could attack you anywhere apart from the depots. So people would wait outside quests, and when you just gathered your reward and be like, "Hi, bye," and just like, yeah. And one time, I remember when I first turned level 45 as a sorcerer, there was a spell called Sudden Death. You could learn at level 45, and you put it on a rune, and it basically had this skull. And the higher the level you were, and the higher your magic level was, the stronger they were. So mine was pretty powerful still at that level, but obviously people could do a lot more. And I remember I was out in the wilderness when I was feeling really bad. I was like, I'm level 45. I've got my sudden death runes. No one's going to stop me. And this little player came along. He must have been around level 30. And I was like, he's probably just a nice guy minding his own business. And I was like, not today. I murdered him with his SD runes. I was like, I'm a freaking boss. What I failed to realise is he happened to have another character who was a level 120 sorcerer. And had something called Ultimate Explosion, which is where half your screen just gets filled with fire. And they're also in Tibia, the higher level you are, the faster your character moves. So you can't run away from higher levels. And they'll probably have Boots of Haste, and there's a spell which was a Tanny Her, I think, which was like a huge speed boost. So the difficulty between players then was crazy. Like if you were level 8 and a level 100 decided to attack you, there was nothing you could do about it. You were dead. Obviously, it would be a waste of time for them because
it's what's referred to as ganking.
Yeah.
They do it because they
can
find it fun.
And
I used to do it a little bit.
I got chased.
I'm slightly guilty.
I got chased by this guy, and I was like, "Why are you attacking me?" He's like, "Because you killed my other character." I was like, "I can't even lie. Like, if it was a friend, I can maybe deny it, but it's the fact that I killed one of his characters." I was like, "Okay, fair enough. Just make it quick."
I was talking to, but they're saying we're talking about the idea of losing gear and stuff, and we're talking about WoW. And he said, oh, it's really stupid, like, already boring that you don't lose your gear if you die. I was like, do you realise how many hours I've put into getting that gear? If I lost it from one death...
Do you die quite often?
All the time.
Okay.
Raiding, one of the bosses we were on, I don't know, we had like 85 wipes until we killed it. Something like that. And that's not really that many.
See, in a game like that makes sense.
You die an awful lot.
And I personally love the fact that when you lose gear, in a game like that, it doesn't work. I agree. And WoW, it doesn't work.
In that game, what happens is it's the durability thing. So you have to just pay to repair your stuff.
So
you do lose stuff.
There's still
it's still a pain in the ass when you die. Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck's sake. But it doesn't really matter. It's just a little bit of in-game money. Yeah.
See, because like, obviously one of my favourite games everyone's wears DayZ. And there's no set difficulty, but obviously that comes purely down to player skill, not difficulty. And the thing that's good about DayZ, I guess, to an extent as well, is kit doesn't matter kit does matter, obviously, it's important. But you, like a guy with a sniper rifle from a few hundred meters away can still lose to a player with an assault rifle or a pistol if they know how to get around and flank you and shoot you. There's ways around it. It's not like in Tibia where I physically couldn't have hurt that guy.
Oh yeah, and that's like the game. Like you stick 2 players together, they start hitting each other. Whoever's got the most health is going to win.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
And that's why I love the games like DayZ. Is the difficulty is purely based on other players. There's no set difficulty. It depends on who is. It comes down to skill really. Like I was playing DayZ once, and I was exploring the Northwest Airfield tents, and someone shot me in the butt cheek, and I remember I ran and got behind cover, patched myself up, and I was like, he's coming for me, where is he? And I managed to, when he wasn't paying attention, I managed to dart into the trees nearby. And when he ran round to flank me, I was gone. He was like, what? And I sprayed him and killed him. And then he wasn't alone. And then it turns out, and they both had better guns than me and the drop on me at the beginning. And because they made the mistake, and when they attacked me, they didn't get a good shot, I was then able to flank around his friend as well and kill his friend. And it was all because of, to be fair, where I played DayZ so much, I've got a lot of experience of the terrain, the area, so I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And my own experience beat any kind of gear in terms of difficulty. Like in terms of gear, they outclassed me completely. In terms of experience and the fact I still had something that could do some damage, I won. And like I won quite badly as well. Like that shot in the butt didn't even do that much damage. And I'm able to patch myself up using their food and bandages. So thank you.
Thank you for listening.
If you're listening,
giving me food.
So it's I think difficulty in multiplayer, that's the best way to do it. I think that's where DayZ has got it right.
Yes.
That it comes purely down to your skill. But even then...
But then when you get trashed by another player so much better than you, it's like, oh.
But at the same time, it comes down to just skill. But you also have other options. If you're not as skilled as someone, you can retreat. There's every opportunity for escape, unless someone gets a drop on you, in which case it's more, that's just unlucky for you. You were wrong place, wrong time. You might not necessarily been their target, but you happened to walk into where they were banned. Like when we used to ban it on DayZ, we there was no one in particular.
No, we didn't.
We were good guys. But there was no one in particular, was there? It was just
if we saw someone like there's a person, shoot him.
Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah. And another example. This is one of my favorite DayZ stories.
Hunters.
I'm going to tell you. I've told you this story a million times, and I'm going to be like an old man one day with my grandkids and a pipe.
And they're like, you told us this, Granddad.
You told us
it's not real. It's from a game. Oh no, it really happened.
Back in the war.
The war on zombies.
So we used to play the mod of DayZ before the standalone came out, and we played on this one server, and there was a clan called Border Patrol who were the biggest bunch of knobheads you've ever played with. They would literally, when we banded, we do it as a one-off session, and then we try and play normally for a while. Then when we were a bit bored, we go back and band it. These guys just banded all the time, and the problem was they owned the server. So the admin was spawning in items for them. So they had, and he actually built them in one part of the map, their own base. And then back in the mod, crafting wasn't an option in the vanilla mod. He built them a base. He made castle walls. He put them down. He put weapon supplies for them, vehicle supplies. They were the most powerful people in the server by a long way.
Well, they're gods.
Yeah, pretty much. And they loved murdering everybody. You'd hear warnings in the global chat on the beach of, oh crap, Border Patrol are coming in. They come in helicopters and Humvees and just mow down fresh spawns along the coast. And fresh spawns in the vanilla mod, before they gave them axes, could do nothing. You couldn't punch anyone in DayZ. You weren't a threat. And we got really annoyed at this. And there was a group of about 5 or 6 of us. And we're like, we've got to be able to take them down. We're like, we don't know where their base is. We don't know anything. And one night, it got quite late, and a few of our friends went offline. And there was me and one of my other friends still on, and we got separated, and where he saw Border Patrol's helicopter landing, and he jumped in the back seat, and they didn't notice. He snuck in, and he went all the way back to their base with them, and he jumped out, and he waited for them all to log off, and he had a quick look around the base, and then he ran out, and he knew where he was. He was like, oh my god, I know this part of the map. We can raid here, we can take it. So the next day, we got a few of our friends on, and we planned this huge, like, military operation with like 6 or 7 people. Like, right, we're gonna go full on like SAS on this shit. We're gonna do it. And we went up to the Northwest Airfield to see last weapon and ammo scavenge to see what we could get. And someone turned up in this thing called a Vodnik, which is a big armored vehicle. And again, this is proving difficulty and skill and experience all kind of blend into one. He technically was a hard opponent. He was in an armored vehicle with a turret. And Pete had a 50 caliber sniper rifle, popped the driver, killed him instantly. We got a free car of a turret and all their supplies, which really gave us a big boost.
There was no one on the turret?
No. He was trying to run us over because he was armor plated.
Right.
But obviously the windscreen wasn't from a 50 cal. And we spent ages doing this, and it was incredible because Pete and I think it was Frosty was with him. They snuck in, and they did it proper sniper style. One of them was a spotter, one was with the big 50 cal. And they were just overlooking the base, letting us know what was going on inside the Border Patrol's base. And we crept in, the others, and 3 of us came in with 2 of us in the Vodnik and 1 on foot. And I was on the turret of the Vodnik. My friend was driving it. My other friend ran in. And when one of them was there, one of their helicopters took off, and one of them was patrolling their base still. And then the sniper we're opening fire in 3, 2, 1, bang, guy dead. Global chat goes ballistic. Our base is under attack. Everyone fall back to base. We're spraying everything we can with the turret, all their vehicles to damage them. We're nicking all like their supplies. And then me and the driver of the Vodnik were like, should we take their transport helicopter? And we were like, yeah, we could use a helicopter. Why not? So we jumped in. And as we're getting in it and taking off, we hear this big attack helicopter coming back. And we were like, oh, no. Oh, no, no, no.
Uh-oh.
And as we take off, it's spraying us with rounds. We're like, crap, we need to leave. And then a warning message pops up going, server shut down in 5 minutes. And we're like, oh no.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't them doing it. It's
okay,
clocked 4-hour restart. And we were like, oh God, okay. What do we do? And then the pilot was like, screw it, we're leaving. And then we were like, oh wait, we've left Johnny down in the base. We're like, where's Johnny? And then we just suddenly hear, see you later, bitches. And he had nicked one of their big trucks full of guns and drove out the side. And we managed to lose the helicopter somehow because they were quite far away when they started shooting us. And we went in a different direction. We landed and waited for the server restart. Came back in. The global chat was a war zone in itself. People were like really happy that someone had attacked them and done some damage. They were furious that they had done it, that someone had done it. And then to make it worse, we were like, they're not going to expect this. Let's all regroup and go back in. So we took all the good guns. Yeah, we took all the good guns out the truck, got everybody back in a helicopter, flew in, landed, and all of them were in there. We just mowed them down, and then someone was on the turret of the helicopter, and he was just spraying off of it, and we don't know what he hit, but something just went up in flames. This explosion went off somewhere. We think he must have hit a fuel tank or a car or something. And yeah, we were like, right, we've done it. We've destroyed their base. Let's leave. And we all got back in and bailed. And we kind of proved there, like they outnumbered us. They had superior technology, better equipment, and we still won. It was just proving there, kind of like skill can triumph over difficulty, and kind of equipment-based games. And they're cheating, yes. And to make matters worse, we obviously hit them hard because the admin of the server was a big crybaby about it, and he put something called an iron dome around their base, which basically means if you walk, it's invisible, and if you walk or fly through it, it kicks you from the game. And we were like, okay, we've done it here. Like these guys they effectively put their server to like the hardest difficulty.
Well,
and we
impossible.
Won. And we won.
Oh, beforehand, I thought you meant with the wall thing.
No. I was saying they made it really hard, but they just go killing unarmed players. Like, imagine spawning in a video game with no weapon. Like Halo 1 in the beginning, you spawn in the beginning there, and elites being straight in your face, shooting and punching you. You couldn't do it.
No, please stop.
So I think multiplayer, the difficulty is its own thing.
Yeah. And
that story was definitely off topic. Right? As soon as I thought of it when we were talking about DayZ, I was like, I've gotta throw it in there. Good times. I do enjoy that. But yeah, so I think we can safely say that it's... Yeah, I think difficulty...
I want to briefly mention as well, what's it called? New Game Plus.
New Game Plus.
Isn't that like when you...
Is that when you finish a game?
I think that's normally when you finish the game. Don't you like take the character you had and you carry on? Or something like that? I think like Borderlands might have had it where you've leveled this character, you have all these guns, and then you carry on. I think you do the game again from the beginning, just everything's a higher level.
See, I don't know if I mean, if people really... Again, that goes back to if you really love the game.
Yeah, if you like it, then yeah. And that's a good option for you.
How do you feel about games
I was like...
How do you feel about games being unforgiving in terms of like losing all your kit or losing items when you die?
It depends on the game.
I think...
Because things like DayZ, okay, fine, because you can go and get it all quite easily.
Well, you can't anymore.
Well, I see easily.
But I agree with it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that makes the game what it is. I think the suspense of when a gunshot's fired... I mean, like, I could lose everything right now.
It kind of wouldn't work because people wouldn't really care. People would run around and shoot each other because they can, and it wouldn't matter. It'd become Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Which is fine because that's what it's for. So, imagine that Call of Duty if you lost your gear. It's like, well, I'm standing here like, hello, can I have guns, please?
Punching those games is ridiculous anyway, but...
Like, Counter-Strike. You have to buy the gear.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. You don't buy anything. You get like a crap little pistol, and then you follow someone around with the gun you want. When they die, you're like, mine. Like, go.
But yeah, I do like it. I think it adds something to it. I don't think every game should have it. Bear in mind, like,
not at all. Yeah.
But I do think for some games it works really well. Like the difficulty being, like the enemies aren't necessarily hard, but if you make a mistake, it's so unforgiving and that is kind of the difficulty in its own right.
It adds an extra level of excitement to the game.
Yeah.
Adrenaline thing of like, oh god, there's stuff.
So I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone, And it's not too bad. Like if mission failure, you fail a mission, so you start from the beginning, or you can, even if you've got the right item, go from where you are when the enemies are all battered. But you obviously give up an item for it. But apparently, if you play Fire Emblem on the console, so on the DS, or I don't know if there's one on the Nintendo Wii or Switch. There won't be one on the Switch yet. But apparently, yeah, your main heroes, if you make a mistake and they get killed, you lose them. They're dead.
Yeah.
So that I like that and I don't like it. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It adds like a new level of like suspense to the game. I'm like, if I lost someone I really like from a stupid mistake, my DS would probably be out the window in the river or something like that. I'd be like, right, I'm done.
That's like, you've seen Until Dawn. Have you seen anything about it?
That's the horror game, isn't it?
Yes, it's the one where like the story driven one. So it's kind of like Telltale, but not quite. So you walk around as each character doing whatever you do, but then depending on what you do, you could get them killed or save them. And I was watching Achievement Hunter do it, and I can't believe they did something like he wasn't even doing anything. It's the fact he was like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm just put the controller down. He did that. That killed him. Something jumped down and grabbed him from the ceiling. It's like, you just don't know what's going to happen, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just, ugh. Your decisions when that happens, they kill your characters. Like,
I mean, it's not too bad in like co-op, is it? Like, for example, like on Halo, if one of you dies, he just goes, unless you're on Halo 2 Legendary. And one of you dies,
in which case you can suck it.
Back to checkpoint.
Yeah.
But, I think difficulty is important. I think managing difficulty is a really hard job for game developers.
Yeah.
And a fair play to them for like every different approach is really good. Yeah.
Difficult, as in terms of player skill. Some people are incredible, and some people are just...
Well, that's multiplayer difficulty.
Goddamn awful.
Do you think that like you can like... I think For Honor does balance out multiplayer difficulty in terms of like 1v1 duels, all your equipment's nullified. It doesn't matter what you've got, it's the same. Like it's in same terms, well, not in terms of damage, because obviously heavy players will hit harder, but your characters all kind of neutral. Instead of having different stats, all kind of got their neutral basic stat. And I think that works well. Obviously when you go on to like the Dominion mode, that kind of changes.
Makes it a bit dodgy. With super revive speed.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. That's and that can cost a game. That can completely flip a game on its head. But yeah, so nice topic, Ben. Well done.
Thank you.
And
I try.
If anyone else has any topics you'd like us to discuss, please leave them in the comment section.
I love
section below. Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like or a subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. And until then, we will see you next time.
See you all later.